To order at 7:06. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Well, thank you all for being here tonight. It's good to have people here. Let's see. Just a second. Let me get to my, that's what this is for. Okay. No, it's not working very well. Okay. Let the record reflect that every member of the Board of Education is here tonight in attendance. There was no action taken in closed session this evening, no reportable action. May I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Fernando. Do you have a second?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, Ms. Borg, I think. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passed unanimously. I don't think we have any introductions, but as again, welcome to our board meeting. Do we have board recognition this evening, Dr. De Leon?
We do have board recognition this evening. Yes, we do. We do. Let me put my microphone on. Thank you, President Merkley, members of the board, cabinet, members of the community. This month, January of each year, is actually School Board Recognition Month. So tonight, our recognition is the recognition of our dedicated school board. As superintendent of Glendora Unified School District, I want to thank you on behalf of our community, our staff, and our students for your dedicated service, which a lot of people don't really know what all you do, but we know. Our school board spends hours and hours and hours every single month, every week, between every board meeting, meeting with community members, going to our schools, speaking with staff, listening to concerns, addressing concerns, working with members of our staff, our cabinet, and me. The amount of time and effort, especially since I've been here and we've been in sort of this never-ending COVID situation, has been enormous. This board has been committed 100% every minute of every day to the safety of our staff and students. They have stood strong. There's been some adversity, and you've been positive, kind, and respectful every step of the way, and a real example for the students of our community. Under your leadership, we've been allowed to do some really good work in this district, and work besides the work of COVID, which seems like it's all day, every day. But really, besides COVID, there's a lot of work going on to address 21st century learning, career technical education, college and career readiness, a lot of work in the fiscal services, making sure that we are fiscally solvent, staffing, and addressing declining enrollment. All of those things have been your focus, some of your foci of the many, and you've given us the ability to do that good work for the students of this community. And I thank you for that. I thank you for your leadership, your guidance, your vision. It's appreciated every single day, and just want to thank you so much. So we actually have certificates of appreciation for you to go with all of your gifts. And I'm just going to speak for everybody and wish you a wonderful School Board Appreciation Month. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So I would love it if you would all come down there and let me give you certificates and let us take a picture. let me begin with President Merkley. Thank you so much for everything that you do for our kiddos every day. Trustee Board, thank you so much for all of your work. I thought I put these in order of your offices and everything, and I didn't get it together. I hope you're not hurt. All of you. There you go, Vice President Reuter. Thank you so much for all of you. Thank you. And I think this one is Trustee Ellenson. Thank you so much, Trustee Ellenson, for all your hard work and everything you do. Thank you. And that one for you, Dr. Fernandez. Thank you so much.
You get a little one over here.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Why'd you open them so everybody can see?
Okay. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. Fancy. And in case you didn't notice, you've got lots of fun thank you gifts. Sandberg came and dropped off things for you. Our wonderful business services and food services department gave you a nice snack to try out. And then our wonderful Tracy Cornelius made the much and many M&Ms for you.
Oh, thank you.
For much and many thanks. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, just a moment. It is now time, I believe, for public comment. No, I'm supposed to make a statement. Just a reminder to be present and you have 3 minutes to speak to your topic. So I will call the first, and then I will tell you the second, so the second person can be on deck. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Good. Okay, our first one will be Jean Lopez, followed by Lenore Craig.
Good evening, and thank you for letting me present this evening. So you know, I participated and applied for the Community Committee on Ethnic Studies. I'm moving on to the final phase, being appointed. And in that process, I learned a lot about AB 101, and I hope you have as well. If you've immersed yourself at all, you'll understand some of the pretty important concerns and important dates. And so there's been a little confusion around school year 2029 and 2030 as it relates to school year 2025 and 26. In that language, and you'd have to be a lawyer to fully understand this language, I'm not certain that we shouldn't be preparing ourselves for 40 months from today, which would be school year 2025-26. And the reason I'm saying that is because not that we would fall on our laurels, but that we should be prepared. It might be an advantage for our students that we take this ethnic studies course, whatever it may be, and offer it in only one semester. Therefore, we're not taking another elective course out of their possible curriculum. If we could maintain it at one semester for their high school graduating requirements, that would be a big advantage to our students. So my point of bringing this up is those who will be appointed onto this committee, I believe should begin meeting immediately. And not in the short term, if you will, but having enough time, to put together some of the outcomes that we're looking for, and B, to start gathering information so that we can meet those outcomes. And so with that, I'll yield the rest of my time, and thank you for letting me present.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Appreciate that. And after Lenore Craig is Kimberly Jordison.
Good evening. To the 5-foot level? Okay. Good evening. A few things I want to say and address regarding vaccines, unvaccinated, and what our staff and students are being put through. First, thank you, Penny, for retracting the weekly COVID testing for 4th and 5th grade students who are playing wind instruments, although I'm not sure 4th really do. We're still not sure if this is a true retraction, but may I ask you, Penny, why did you say to us when we questioned this that it was just a rumor? And at the same time, it was in the staff agenda for their staff meetings that it was going to be implemented. Is it a habit of yours to tell the public one thing and another behind the scenes? Just wondering. The idea that you are making students who play sports, who are unvaccinated, test weekly, and not the vaccinated, along with the GUSD staff, is wrong. As we have been saying for months, if not longer, this should all be a choice, whether we're vaccinated or not. Each and every individual. It has been mentioned countless times that natural immunity is strong and should count as much, if not more, than those vaccines. Just this week, if you've been listening, the CDC, the NIH have stated that natural immunity is far stronger than these shots and vaccines. Knowing this should start changing some of our ideas and some of our policies. Making a difference to the policies, knowing that the vaccinated are getting and spreading this just as much as anyone else should make a difference. We are finding these things out. We've been saying it for months, but it's coming to fruition, and you need to start adjusting things. Let me end with this. With your lack of attention to the things that have been brought to you in these public meetings and in private meetings with some people, and nothing being addressed month after month, you have proven to us all that this board and this superintendent are a slave to the state and not a servant to the people.
Thank you, Mrs. Craig. Okay, Kimberly Jordison, please.
My name is Kimberly. I've been here before, spoken and not gotten any response to valid questions. Here's more. Per the CDC, children under 18 make up less than 0.1% of COVID deaths. However, children make up 20% of the population. Is anybody doing the math here? Less than 600 kids have died of COVID to date. We are, however, torturing thousands of kids in our district for no good reason. Why are we forcing kids to mask and pushing vaccines when their chances of serious illness and or death are so very low? Why is the board secretly planning to test wind instruments, as she stated before, without parental consent or notification? It was supposed to start today, but apparently you guys need more time to plan this out. However, when I emailed the board, and I was told by De Leon herself that she didn't know where this information came from. Why are we lying? Why have the board members not questioned or gone against the recommendations from the health department and or the state authorities? The health department does not make laws, and mandates are recommendations. The district can, but they won't, make their own decisions. Is it because you'll lose COVID money? On that note, where have the millions of dollars in COVID money been spent? On people like Nicole Anderson for CRT-related curriculum? Why does the board refuse to have a discussion about anything other than the narrative that has been forced upon the masses? Why are the voices of those that agree the only ones that are listened to? Why do parents continue to come to these board meetings to make their voices heard and the board members disrespect and ignore us? Has the board considered the long-term effects of these policies? Why not? Does the board even care? Why is more emphasis put on worrying about things like equity and compliance to illegal measures than doing what is actually right and in the best interest of our kids? Why is there no transparency, and why are there constant misrepresentations and flat-out lies? Why are you discriminating against vax versus unvaxxed kids when both have an equal possibility to spread and get the virus? Why have there been more terminations, resignations, and retirements since our new superintendent took over? This is not okay. Why did a GTA survey show that more than half of those surveyed didn't believe that they were supported by the district or have their concerns answered? The media falsely reports the vaccines are fully approved. There is only one fully approved, and it is not even available in the United States. Why are you pushing experimental medicine that the long-term effects are unknown? The adverse events are way higher than any other vaccine in history. Stop the madness already. Why are parents that want to protect their children from the unknown being vilified, and why are you all going along with this? Why instead are we not promoting health, promoting healthy eating, exercise, and those kinds of things? That would make way more sense than pushing fear and false information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Dorison. We will turn our time over to Nadia Bashir now for our student board member report.
Good evening, Dr. Good evening, Dr. DeLeon and esteemed members of the school board. Tonight, I will be giving a student board report on the behalf of Sellers, Sutherland, Cullen, and LaFecha Elementary Schools, as well as Sandburg Middle School and Glendora High School. Sellers and all elementary students had their business day where fourth grade students had the opportunity to make and sell goods safely outside. They also recently hosted Tacky Day for first graders inspired by the book Tacky the Penguin. Sutherland PTA coordinated a goodie snack cart during PTA Conference Week in November, as well as a holiday at-home workshop where 115 craft kits were purchased by families. Third grade students collected towels and blankets for homeless dogs and cats that were delivered to the Humane Society on December 15th. Cullen hosted their annual book fair and interactive drawing assembly provided by PTA. Before break, kindergarten students had a great time looking for the gingerbread man around campus. They also held their PTA breakfast with Santa in Foothill Church's affordable Christmas at Foothill Church on the first Saturday of December with great success. On January 21st, LaFecha hosted their second series of student recognition assemblies. Students really enjoyed receiving recognition in front of their peers and families, and thank you to PTA volunteers for making it happen. Teachers are giving students extra support with Homework Club and are discussing how to assess their students' writing abilities for second trimester reports. Sandburg hosted Holidays for Hope in December, where the collection of money started on December 3rd and ended on December 10th. With almost $2,600, Sandburg students shopped and wrapped gifts for City of Hope pediatric patients. They also hosted a festive spirit week right before break. On January 14th, Glendora High School celebrated National Rubber Ducky Day by placing colorful rubber ducks around campus before lunch for students to find and keep. We also celebrated National Popcorn Day on January 19th at lunch by handing out free bags of popcorn with COVID restrictions in mind to maintain safety. And last week, ASP covered the campus with motivational posters to encourage students to give themselves grace and carry on through second semester. Winter sports are all competing in Palomares League play, and we are managing to get games in even through unprecedented times. Our Wellness Center is open and available for use by our students. We're continuing to develop our Wellness Center and will have a grand opening at a later date, but it is located in room 14 and operates on weekdays for students to come to decompress, self-regulate, or reset for a brief 20-minute period of time and return to class ready to learn and engage. Students can come during nutrition or during class with teacher permission. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have questions for Nadia? Okay, thank you. Now it's time for comments from the Board of Education, and we'll start with Mrs. Reuter.
Thank you, Mrs. Merkley. I want to thank all the different groups that provided these lovely gifts for the board this evening. It is very unnecessary, but very appreciated, I'm sure, by myself and all of my colleagues. I didn't know there was a board member appreciation month, but this is really a lot of fun. I do want to give a special shout out tonight to Kenya, Erica, Priscilla, and Miguel in the Glendora High School cafeteria. I had the pleasure of working with them for one day last week, and these are some hardworking individuals. Not only are they serving an early breakfast, a nutrition sort of breakfast, and a lunch every day at Glendora High School, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I didn't realize that we're still handing out community meals, meaning anybody in Glendora with children up to age 18, even if they're not in the school district, are still able to come and pick up what amounts to breakfasts and lunches on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they're usually handing out about 60 meals per day, which I think is a real important thing to be able to do for our community. So I know that a lot of departments have been hit very hard by COVID in the last couple of weeks since we've returned back from the Christmas break. So I really do want to just thank all departments who I know are working on full steam, no breaks, no nothing. And also I want to thank all the community members and retired Glendora employees who have stepped up and come back to work to be able to fill in for our folks that need a little bit of time off right now with COVID. I understand that the numbers are getting better, that our absences are going down, but that also we are really in a great place with how many subs we've been able to be able to come in and help out, which is a real testament to the district and the community this way. So I want to thank everybody for that, and subs don't go anywhere yet. Hopefully things are starting to slow down, but stay available, and we really appreciate you. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. Reuter. How about Ms. Borg next?
How about that? Happy to go next. I too have a shout out because it really, really opened my eyes last Thursday, and I went back again on Friday to Stanton Elementary because they had their head person in food services working alone on Tuesday and Wednesday because her help was out sick, and not with COVID, just had bronchitis, but still there were no subs available. So Dr. De Leon let me know, and I was happy to go down there, and I am not kidding you, they work their tails off. And they're on a deadline that can't be moved. I mean, lunch comes or they're dismissed for early out. There's no saying, hey, you need to wait 30 minutes to pick up your meals. I mean, they have to be ready and ready to go. Over 350 little bags, and I'm sure if you're parents here, you understand what some of your kids may have brought home. There are 5 to 7, 8, 9 items in a bag, and on the breakfast and lunch day on early out, it's double the work, even though they don't have to serve lunch, but it's still packing it all up, throwing it into ice containers, ice chests, delivering them to classrooms. And then the kids on Friday actually came and picked up lunch, and we only packed up breakfast for today, today. So we did 200 of those. And those kids, it just made my heart sing to see the kids come through the lunch line. And I got to meet the noon aides because they came in to help supervise the kids as they were picking it up. It was pizza day, and some of the kids don't care for pizza. I said, what, you're 5th grade? My 5th graders loved pizza day. They wanted the muffin and yogurt and a string cheese, and so the Patty behind the desk there kindly went to that refrigerator and pulled out an alternative meal for them. I said, you are a saint, because they are coming through faster than she can scoop up the pizza. So if they didn't want the pizza, she gave them something else. So Patty, this is a shout out to you for your wonderful, kind heart for kids and the amazing work you do 5 days a week, generally speaking, and get it all done. It's amazing. And Stacy Johnson, who is our director of food services, she's got some wonderful, wonderful people working with her and for her. My next thanks is to Sandburg students, for the poster, and I don't know if it's still up in here, but they sent, along with all this fun stuff from Sandberg here, which is, again, I'm with Mrs. Reuter. It's unexpected and not necessary, and we really, our hearts are in it for the kids, and that's our why. So just but a thank you to those students and to food services and to our educational service for all the stuff they've sent out. And I also wanted to share that I did get to watch the community committee during the first presentation last week. I was in and out, and I have to apologize because I didn't even think about, I had to go to the dentist. So I was having trouble logging on and off, so I left it on and ran to the dentist, thus keeping another board member from not being able to be on it. So I do apologize for that. But I want to thank all the members of the community. I watched probably 7 or 8 of the presentations. And I think it's an important job, and I'm really glad that you are taking it seriously and that you came out and presented. So my thanks to those members of the community. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Borg. Dr. Fernando?
I don't want to be a echo here, but really grateful for these gifts. At the end of the day, for me, it's about the people, right? And the people are what make a great district. And I see people in this room. I see our GTA president and others. And these are the people that make our district incredible. It's the administrators, of course, it's the teachers, it's the staff, the classified staff. And that's why several years ago, when I was asked to consider serving on this board, I said yes, because of the incredible people that are ultimately committed to the well-being and education of our students, of our children in this district. So that's why I serve, and I'm grateful to serve alongside many people here. I also want to thank our staff, both teachers and classified employees, who have had to do so much work, especially in the midst of a surge. Just with continued exposure, continued need for substituting. I understand that there were administrators having to be teaching in the classroom because of the numbers of teachers that were out. And we still are seeing that reality in our schools. I think we will see a continued decline in cases based on what we're seeing in the data. But I think our staff overall, even though this has been a difficult time, many of them have been impacted by the virus, they have responded so well. And at the same time really worked hard to care for our students. So I want to say thank you again to our teachers, our staff, who have had to navigate an additional pivot in this 2-year process that we've experienced. It's a testament to their commitment, who they are as our employees, and that's what makes our students great graduates, and they go out into the working world and do incredible things. So just a lot of thanks to many people who are doing tireless things at this district.
Thank you. Mr. Ellenson?
Yeah, to echo what my colleagues have said, I just want to acknowledge the board and my personal awareness of everyone that's been impacted over the past few weeks by this surge. It came on very, very quickly, and it affected every element of what we do to operate our educational program, from all of the absences, both student and staff, to the impact it had on sports, visual and performing arts, and music. The mass number of students requesting to go into goal for however long a period of time they feel they need to do that, or we can accommodate that, and having to do all of this in record time. Dr. DeLeon, you pointed out to us the surge, the spike from LA County Department of Public Health, and how we're pretty much at 1%, effectively zero for so long, and then shot up to where we were. And I think we're all just hoping and projecting that it shoots down just as quickly, and that maybe a couple weeks from today, things will be so much better. But we did get through it, and I just want the community of Glendora Unified and our employees to know that we recognize that and we appreciate that. And thank you to those board members who were able to go out and pitch in. That's very helpful, and wish I could have done the same. And thank you for the recognition. This is very nice. I'm going to be very popular if I bring home an Uncrustable and a Lunchable and a COVID test, too. So thank you very much.
And I would like to say thanks for all of these goodies. It's kind of exciting A couple things. I too went out and worked at the high school, and as soon as I finished, I had to go and look. It was a Zoom meeting, but welcome all the new classified, with my net hair on and looking really cute. But I was able to really heartfelt give my thanks because they worked so hard. I mean, we were bending and lifting and stretching and running and walking, and the best part was not the best, but it was kind of good. Go out to pass out the lunches and be able to sit in the chair for a minute. That was kind of nice. And then I went back on Friday to pass out because they were doing the breakfast for Monday, because they're not doing in-person breakfast because students need to congregate and take their mask off to eat. And the students didn't want to seem to, come to the window, so we put them on trays and went out and were kind of accosting them, trying to track them down. They weren't doing real well, but it was kind of fun. I think once they get into the habit of that, it'll be all good. And they made those parfaits. Did you have? It was yogurt and strawberries and stuff. And they let me have one for lunch, and it was so good. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for all of the work you do, the classified, everybody. It's just, we really appreciate it. Classified and the teachers, all of the staff. Couldn't do it without you. And that is the end of what I have to say. So I will turn and also, I almost forgot, Stacy Johnson, the head, was out there on Friday helping to pass out breakfast too, so everybody was really pitching in wherever is needed. Dr. DeLeon, we'll turn it over to the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Before I start my report, I have to join in and really thank everybody. All of our certificated classified staff, but also just to point out all of our administrators, our district office staff. I want to thank Dr. Kelson, who was organizing all the administrative coverage, Dom, who was trying to organize classified coverage and certificated coverage and subs, and Bonnie putting all the subs in and calling everyone. It just takes a village. Trustee Board just whispered, she says, it takes a village. I'm like, it does take an absolute village. I'm going to give shout out to the sites I got to be part of, to fill in. It was so much fun just jumping right in again. I got to fill in at Sandburg one day in the office. It was incredible. It was so much fun. Also Whitcomb. And then shout out to Soledad, who was running the cafeteria at Cullen. I mean, it's just incredible the amount of work that's done. Hundreds and hundreds of grab-and-go breakfasts. It just took everybody. We had a ton of people from the district office that were going down, because really what we do first is when we run out of subs, we get everybody from the district or everybody who's in a support role, whether it be teaching, certificated, classified, or admin, goes down and helps the sites, because our job is here to support the sites. That's our first priority. So we all immediately mobilize. And so I have to say it really was a team effort, and I do want to thank everybody who was a part of that. It was really just great. And we did it. We made it through, and Dom's going to talk a little bit about that later. But for my superintendent's report, I'm going to turn the first slide over to Tracy Vicar, our Assistant Superintendent of Business Services. I can tell you that there's been nonstop work because of wind damage. And it was all day yesterday and last night working with Southern California Edison. So Tracy, why don't you tell everybody all the work you and your staff did to make sure that we were able to open Sandburg today?
Yeah, I got to say, it's been an interesting weekend, as if the pandemic wasn't enough. Dealing with COVID, dealing with the surge, working on getting test kits out, helping test kids, trying to help and support all of our schools. school sites, we had this incredible wind that blew through Glendora, along with many other communities. And with that, it uprooted several different trees, took down power lines. Some of our schools went offline, not having power. Most of the schools came back up on Saturday evening, which was great, but Sandburg stayed down. They had a major power line that came down with it, along with a huge tree. And hopefully some of you got to see the picture of one of our maintenance and operation workers standing out there next to the tree. He looked like he was this little tiny midget next to the tree. And he's like, a really tall guy. So it was pretty incredible. Our maintenance and operations did an incredible job, along with our custodial staff, with making sure that all of our schools were ready for operation today. But I think probably the scary part came last night when, even at 9 p.m., we still didn't have power over at Sandburg. We were in touch with our Edison rep, who is absolutely amazing, and I can't begin to thank her enough for being on the call with us on a regular basis, continuing to put tickets in, double checking with the contractors as to what was happening. We really were getting every 3 hours an update personally from her. So a big shout out to her and her partnership to Glendora. She knew we were determined to open up school no matter what today, and we had plans. So some of the emergency things that you have before you were our emergency food bags that we were planning on giving to our students today, should we not have power, to make sure that they would not go hungry, that they would have breakfast and they would have lunch, along with fruits and vegetables and milk and everything else they need to have. So we wanted to share what that was like. Fortunately, our power came back on last night about 11:20, and we had school operational this morning. We sent, actually, the power went back on last night probably about 9 p.m., and we sent people over to the school to make sure everything got powered up correctly. We actually brought down all the power. We didn't want everything coming on all at once. We didn't want to have a surge and have something go wrong. So everything was up and operational by 11:30 last night, and we knew school was going to be ready for this morning, and so we were happy to go out there and go greet kids. And so just want to thank the school maintenance and operation team and our incredible custodial support staff that was out there. Tommy Portugal and Dana, his assistant, were just absolutely amazing. My team ran out to go get additional provisions to make sure that we had the Uncrustables and the Lunchables. Hard to say Uncrustables and Lunchables all in the same breath. And so they went out to make sure that we had enough to be able to deploy out should we be in that situation versus being able to serve hot food. So just a special thank you to all of them.
A lot of good work. Thank you so much, Tracy, and to the entire team and everybody who pulled together. I know we had 3 cabinet meetings yesterday by Zoom just to make sure everything was covered, and so amazing job to everyone for that. And I must admit that when I got the text at 11:30 saying that we were going to be up and running for school today, I accidentally fell back to sleep and forgot to text the board, so I apologize about that. I just kind of went, oh, great, again. So anyway, my bad, sorry about that. So thank you all for all your hard work on that. So next, I would love it if Dr. Kelson would update us on the ethnic studies process, the community committee selection process. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. DeLeon, and good evening, everyone. As those of you who may have been listening to one of the public comments, the selection panel for the Community Committee on Ethnic Studies began its work last week. When I say began its work, let me just say began its work in person. The process began in October with the announcement of the opportunity for people to serve on the community committee and to do some of the reading and studying that will be asked of people who are eventually on the community committee for ethnic studies. So a group of 7 individuals made up of local Glendora residents were nominated by their community organizations, also all Glendora-based, to participate in listening to a first round, which was a presentation, and a second round, which were interviews primarily on the text of AB 101, a press release from the California Department of Education, an article from Stanford University, and chapters 1 and 2 of the actual model curriculum standards. At this point, all of the applicants will be notified. I told the group on Friday within 7 calendar days, so I am accountable to making that happen by this Friday at the close of business. I echo what is on the slide. Many thanks to those who did the reading, to those who applied, to those who presented and interviewed, and to the selection panelists who were a part of listening and blind scoring in the process. The next steps will be to, after the announcements are made of who will be serving on the community committee as selected by the community. I am not a scoring member. I am only a facilitator. The next steps would be to get the community committee together to begin looking at the end goal of meeting the guidelines in AB 101 and ensuring that by the class of the seniors of the class of 29-2030, that they have had the opportunity to not only complete the graduation requirement that is set before them in AB 101, but also to learn more about the global world and what it's going to be like to live as an adult in it. So thank you, Dr. De Leon.
Thank you, Dr. Kelson. This has been a wonderful process. Thank you so much. I know it's a lot of hard work, and many, many thanks again to the selection panel and to all of those who presented and interviewed. It was a rigorous process. Everyone did a lot of reading, as Dr. Kelson said, and I looked at the questions, and I was, I mean, I'm telling you, those were some very, very robust and rigorous questions to have to ask. So thank you so much for that, Dr. Kelson. Okay. Tracy, would you like to talk about our next test kit distribution?
Absolutely.
Business services all over it.
Yeah. So my business service team, I just need to give a big shout out and thank them so much for the work that they've been doing behind the scenes. One, to be able to secure test kits for our families and for all of our employees. And then also to be able to go out there and make sure they get distributed. We actually have an accounting process that has to go with the distribution of each of our kits. And that means that we have to actually mark off as to who actually received it so that we can actually get reimbursed. Super important. The test program for our employees works a little bit different. Upon using the test, they have to actually fill out something to us just to let us know that they actually did use it, and then we do a verification back so that we get reimbursed for those test kits. We worked really hard to make sure that over the next couple of weeks we will be able to do at least 3 rounds of test kit distribution. So round 2 starts this coming week, and hoping that we don't have any kind of major wins tomorrow night, although we did see a report that there might be additional Santa Anas tomorrow. If we don't have any, we will be out here in the parking lot. We will be doing it Costco style, like how we did the first couple of nights when we first got the test kits. And our plan is to be able to get out about 5,500 test kits this coming week on Tuesday and Wednesday. So we look forward to being able to help and support our community and our employees with a second round of test kits. It's not either or, it's both groups when we come. So if you are a student in our district, you are entitled to one of our test kits. And if you are an employee in our district, we have a test kit available for you as well. And so we will be taking everybody through our Costco style line. If you're familiar with the gas lines at Costco and how they kind of line up, we kind of have that coming through our district office here. And that's what we will be doing this Tuesday and Wednesday evening from 4 to 7 p.m. And then after that, we'll be shifting to Thursdays for distribution in front of the Sellers little round part here, where we will be giving out test kits between 3, I think it's going to be between 2:30 and, we're actually changing the time slightly for that Thursday. So let's say it's from 2:30 to 4:30, I think, on the rest of the Thursdays.
But this one is 3 to 7.
This one is 3 to 7 for Tuesday and Wednesday of this week.
No, the wind.
Oh, the wind. So if wind happens, it'll be from 3 to 7.
On Thursday.
On Thursday.
If
wind, sorry. If wind, first of all, if wind doesn't happen, we're going to be out there tomorrow night. So we're hoping that the wind just stays away. I'm tired of wind. We've had way too much, and it's really kind of getting to the way of things that we want to be able to do and help out our community. So assuming that there's no wind, we will be out there Tuesday and Wednesday evening from 4 to 7. In the event that there is wind, we will be out there on Thursday evening from 3 to 7 p.m.
So we'll send out a parent square to let them know whether we're on or off tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
And
please check.
Last time, for the first round, we filled out a little reservation or a little online Google form.
Don't have to do that this time. We're ready.
You're just going to give your name when you go to pick it up, and you all are going to check us off as far as accountability is concerned.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. And then next, our next thing we'd like to talk to you, Lily, we already mentioned it a little bit, but I'd like Dom to really talk about what we've done to address the staffing shortage, because with the Omicron surge, it has been challenging, and we talked a lot tonight about everybody filling in. But Dr. Grazia, could you talk about some of the other things we've done as a district to increase the number of subs we have and how we've done that?
For sure, and kudos to our current staff and the flexibility. The periods coverage at the secondary level has been a great assist as well. But we've really tapped into our retirees recently, both classified and certificated retirees, and they've been rejoining our ranks, coming back home, so to speak. So we want to thank them for stepping up and stepping out back into our sites in administrative, past administrators as well. But we recently raised our substitute rate for temporarily for this year to $170 for a daily rate, $200 for our long-term rate, so that's helped greatly. We've also incorporated a loyalty bonus that if any substitute works 15 or more days in the months of January and or February, they'll receive a $200 bonus for working for a full day. So we've continued to work through that and with them, and to ensure their bonus is in effect. But we've greatly appreciated our subs, what they do on a daily basis, and we're very, very thankful for them and all of our staff during these difficult times.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And then the last slide, I just want to let everybody know that our next vaccination clinic will be held at Williams next Friday from 2 o'clock to 5:30 in room 2. Those have been, our last one was jam-packed. So you register for those in advance. You go online and register. Every single slot was taken. We did 3, or I should say, our district nurse, Sonia, and her wonderful, fabulous team, including my awesome assistant here, Tracy, goes over and helps, Miss Cornelius. They were full. 320 vaccinations were done. Oh my goodness, so many, such a high demand. A lot of boosters were done. That was great. And then also, I wanted to announce that our staff testing for staff members who'd like to get tested is every Thursday from 11:30 to 3:30 at Williams. And we do have a new company that we're working with who's going to actually increase the amount of time. So as soon as we get the new additional days in schedule, we'll get that out for our staff, so that our staff doesn't have to try to go to the Fairplex or find God knows where to get testing done. It's really hard to find sometimes. And so this is for the PCR testing and the confirmation testing. So, well, anyway, so that's all I want to say about that, but that is happening. So anyway, that's it for my report tonight, my update. Any questions from the board at all? And many thank you, board, and thank you to my staff for your reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. De Leon and Cabinet. That was very thorough. We appreciate that. Okay, let's move on to our discussion action items.
We do have a staff presentation.
Dagnabbit, I skipped that one.
We have some people here tonight.
We do. Glendora Teachers Association. I'll turn the time over to Dr. DeGrazia.
Thank you, President Merkley, members of the board, Cabinet, distinguished guests, it's my pleasure to introduce GTA President, Ms. Joanne Johnson, and myself, Dominic DeGrazia, Assistant Superintendent of Personnel, to present the joint proposal for Sunshining. This officially opens our negotiations for the coming school year, 2022-2023. Hard to say, but it comes out eventually. And the last couple of years, we've done this jointly, collaboratively, that we're working on these articles together, not us versus them, but us. And so I'll let Joanne start.
Good evening, everybody. It's good to see you all. The Glendora Teachers Association, in conjunction with the Glendora Unified School District, negotiation teams respectfully bring forward the following joint Sunshine proposal on the annual openers of salary, fringe benefits, and calendar. And in addition to these items, the district and GTA will work collaboratively on contract language for the 2022-2023 school year.
Very good. We are looking forward to working alongside one another to address the following articles in the upcoming year. It is our plan to work on Article 4, hours, Article 5, class size, Article 7, leaves, Article 8, safety, very appropriate, and Article 11, evaluation. In addition, we will begin to integrate the implementation of universal TK into the appropriate articles of the contract.
We continue to appreciate the hard work and dedication of each one of our bargaining unit members, as well as the staff members of GUSD, and the joint work of our negotiations team. We thank each and every one of you for your support of ongoing collaboration and the creative problem solving that we've had to do in these trying times. And we look forward to what 2022-2023 will bring. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to have the union and the staff work collaboratively. That's great. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Okay, now it is discussion action item.
Yes.
To approve, ratify the adoption of resolution number 21/22-08, revised trustee area boundary map, minimal change map as presented. We actually was presented at our last board meeting. Do we need to talk about this again?
Yeah, and I think the demographer's here to answer any questions you might have.
Okay.
Approval, so we can discuss.
Okay. Do I have a second? It was moved by Mr. Ellenson and Mrs. Reuter seconded. Okay. Any discussion, any questions?
You want to come on? Are there any questions you would have for the demographer? I know there was a great deal of discussion at the last one, but we wanted to be prepared in case you had anything else.
I'm Mike Toy with Parker and Covert. I'm the district counsel. I don't know if anybody from
I'm sorry.
National Demographics is here, but I think it was proper and appropriate to have a motion and second to move and approve the resolution unless somebody has any questions.
Okay.
Okay, thank
But
you.
that's why we wanted somebody here, just in case.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passed unanimously. So then we can move on to, let's see, consent items. The Board of Education may consider agenda consent items as a whole or as individual divisions. Any item may be removed by a member of the board for discussion and possible action. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by Mr. Ellenson and seconded by Dr. Fernando. Are there any questions? Anybody want to remove any items?
I don't want to remove any items, but I do just want to say, because I see Ms. Fry in the audience, that I'm very happy to be approving, approval on the change of status to Tammy Fry up to the, can you tell me what the appropriate title is here for, it's a mouthful.
It's a safety risk compliance officer, and the position is out there to help support our employees with coordinating their leaves whenever there's an issue out there with regards to either workers' comp be able to help reduce some of the district's liability and to ensure that testing compliance is taking place and that we have the proper documentation to support our JPA work that we do. And so I'm very excited this evening that the position is being offered to Ms. Fry. She has been a wonderful asset to our district. She's always ready to help step in, and she just has such a very graceful way of talking with everybody and wanting to help them with whatever kind of support systems they need. So congratulations.
We should approve her, shouldn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to, I didn't want to pull it out. I don't want to, I just want to say I'm thrilled. I was happy to hear that, and thank you very much. That's all.
Okay, anything else? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Let's see.
Congratulations, Ms. Fry.
Then, are we at the end? Yes. Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Ms. Borg moved and Dr. Fernando seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion, we are out at 8 o'clock, adjourned.
Thank you all.